Hey fam, hey, welcome back to my channel. Well, it's Friday night, and if you know, you know, and I know you know. If you were tuned in to TLC tonight, you saw a very special talkback episode of Sisterwives, looking back over the years of the show being on and getting live and in-time reactions from Cody, Robyn, Christine, Janelle, and Mary. When we start, Mary is taking out the garbage. She is solo dolo. She is Miss Independent, doing her thing up at the B&B. We have Christine getting some wine because she said, I got to get drunk for this mess. We got Janelle, who's having a little trouble with her throat, so she's going to go ahead and make some tea. Now, when I first saw the smoke behind her, I went ahead back to an episode in season 18, and that sounded real crazy. Went ahead back. I went back to an episode in season 18 where she was cooking lasagna, and that's what I thought she might be cooking this time. But she said no, she's having some trouble, so she's just going to make some tea and sit down and watch the show. And then, of course, we get to Robyn and Cody. Cody is bopping in like he just won $1,000 and he's about to be a star. And Robyn looks like she could really care less to be anywhere but, I don't know, in her room, doing something, drawing some more of my Sister Wives closet sketches or something. I don't know where she wanted to be, but it sure wasn't here. I'm telling y'all, keep watching her. Keep your eye on her. Keep your good eye on her. Because I really don't know that she's going to be around too much longer. But I'm going to get into that. I got something to say about that in just a few minutes. But like I said, Robyn looked pissed. She looked like she would have rather been pulling each nail out one by one. And I think the more I watched her during this thing, I felt like that's what she was trying to do. It's like she could not keep still. But I think that she felt like or knew that she was going to see some things in looking back over the seasons of this show. And she was going to have to admit that she had some hand in this family falling apart. But she put on her acting panties tonight, boy. She said, okay, I'm going to act like I'm on your side because I got to keep that dollar in check. So let's just make you my best customer. Now, I do have a question. Do all of them have leather furniture? I felt like every house we went to had either a leather chair or a leather couch. I felt like it was either leather or pleather. I felt like though Robyn and Cody kind of had a suede leather mix, but it was all in the leather family. Maybe that's what they do in Arizona, Flagstaff. I don't know. My aunt lives in Arizona, but maybe that's what they do in Flagstaff. At one point during the talkback, we see that Robyn takes her ring off, looks at it, and then puts it back on. Now, we could totally explain that simply by saying she was playing with her rings. I do that all the time. It was just so well timed, so well placed that he was talking about all of his problems with wives and all of his thoughts and feelings. And she takes the ring off and she puts it back on. Of course, we did have a time where he said something about the sister wives and all of the things that they were doing. And she's like, well, listen, you keep trying to blame the sister wives. But that is not, you blame us or you blame the sister wives, but you don't talk about your problems with a wife. But he does talk about his problems with the wives. You probably hear all of the problems that he has with wives. I guess I just get real frustrated. Real frustrated, for lack of saying something meaner, because it's YouTube. I get real frustrated with this feigned ignorance that Robyn thinks that she does. And I say thinks that she does, it's because she puts on this act like she just doesn't remember anything that ever happened, anything that happens, anything she was involved in, and then puts it back on everybody else because she's the victim. It's so annoying. Like, it's one of those things where I just want to take her by the shoulders and just shake her until she'll listen. But I know it won't help. It won't help because she's still in survival mode. I really do believe she is still in survival mode for her and her children. And she feels like if she steps out of line even a little bit, she will be back in the same situation she was when she divorced her first husband. Now, speaking of her first husband, before the talkback came on, of course, they reran the tell-all. At least 3 and 4 is what I saw tonight. There was a point in part 4 where Cody says, I vetted Robyn really differently. I had to make sure that she had not left a good man before I married her. Here's the thing. Did you even meet her husband? What I think is ironic and funny is that Robyn's ex-husband is named David, and Christine's new husband is named David. You let Robyn tell you, Cody, I'm acting like I'm talking to Cody. You let Robyn tell you what kind of a relationship she came out of, and you believed her. Now, you said you vetted her. I would love to know the questions that you asked and who you asked them to, because if you only asked her, she can tell you what she wants. She's very good at playing the victim. Remember, she's very good at playing the victim. So did you talk to her first husband and say, hey, she's saying all these things about you. Are they true? I have a hard time believing, though, that that man is going to say, absolutely, I did everything she said I did. Feel free to marry her. And I guess, too, did her ex-husband walk up to you and say, I want you to go and be happy? Did you need that to hear? Did you need to hear that in order to go and be happy with her? I don't think so. It's just amazing how these two particularly talk about how they're being badmouthed, they're being talked about badly about, rewriting history is happening, but y'all are the two rewriting the history. So then we talk about how Cody says that that Christine does not know Robyn at all. Because remember, Suki asked her in the last episode, does Robyn really want to live plural marriage? And Christine said, I don't think she has any desire. Cody says, yeah, they don't know her at all. They don't know her. So then there's another instance in here where they blame Robyn for something. And he says to her, the telenovela happens, and he says to her, they don't know you. She says, they don't know me at all. Yeah, we kind of do know you. We know that you are a victim. We know that you are a crybaby. We know that you are a liar. We know that you are delusional. We know that you have a very strange way of making things happen in your head. We know that you're cunning. We know that you're devious. And we know that you are the reason that this family began to fall apart. So we do know you. We may not know what your favorite song is. We may not know what medicines you take. But I don't care about any of that stuff. Because what you show me is what I believe. That's what Maya Angelou says. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Just saying. Moving on. I have decided that Cody has his own dictionary. These are the words that I just remember off the top of my head that we need to reflect on and how he defines them. So the word undermine. Basically, his definition is you don't share my opinion. Gaslighting. His definition would be, you don't say it the way that I want you to say it. And so I'm mad. Machiavellian, that was one from last week. And he kept using it because I think he just learned it. You didn't accept my BS treatment and you left. Machiavellian. Oh, Cody Brown. We come back and we talk about Christmas again. And of course, Cody interprets what he thinks all of the wives were saying or what he heard in his mind, and Robyn believes it. It's as simple as that. He squawks, she buys it. Because again, survival mode. He then says something about Janelle. Well, she has access, Janelle and Christine, she has access to my children, and I don't. Even Robyn didn't believe that, honestly, I have to say. Even she didn't buy that. Cody has as much access to his grown children as a cell phone and Wi-Fi will allow. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Let y'all think about that. I know y'all caught it because you're smart, but I'm going to leave it there for the people who just might need an extra little bit of time. Let me say it one more time. Cody has as much access to his grown children as a cell phone and Wi-Fi will allow. He then says something to the effect of Christine did not want one big family. Now, this is in reference to him putting out there the idea of one big home. We remember that he decided he was going to get this big home drawn up. He got it in color. He put it on the big screen TV. He did a presentation. Janelle was all for it. Mary was like, I'm not saying jack. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Robyn was overdoing something with her little kids' little nasty hands and all the food. So she had to take the food away. I do remember that. And Christine basically flat out said, no, I'm not doing it. I am not living in one big house. And so he goes back and he blames that falling apart of the family on that moment. Cody, you lied. You lied.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. I'm telling you.
So we come back and we talk to Mary about some of the fun times that she and Christine used to have. They talked a little bit about how their Friday night family gatherings stopped when Robyn came into the family. All of the wives seem to remember that they stopped, except for the one who they stopped because of course, rewriting history, right? Let's go back and remember that the old saying is that if everyone else sees a problem in you, you are probably the common denominator. But I digress. We see a flashback of a time when Christine was teasing Mary about choosing spots and then changing her mind. And she goes, if you move and you change a spot, I'm going to tackle you. So they run out. Christine tackles her. They have a good time. They're both watching this. And Mary says, I miss Christine. I miss those times that we had. You know, we did have those times where we laughed and we got along, and I miss those times. Well, let's flash forward to season 17 when Christine said she was leaving, and you basically sat there, said nothing, and sided with Robyn to then later say you felt betrayed. That's not a friend, Mary. It's not a friend. You were not a friend to people. You were as much a friend to Christine as Robyn was in that time, because you sided with the enemy. So there you go. You chose your poison, you drank it, and now you're sitting back and regretting it as you die. Not literally. We don't talk about death on this channel. I don't wish anyone death. I don't wish anyone death. Let me say that again. So then, of course, they talk about how Cody thinks that if Mary doesn't turn out bitter after this divorce, maybe they can be friends. Maybe they could get along. Again, Robyn's like, BS, man. You just said you don't get along. But they do look back at a Thanksgiving where Mary made the Rice Krispie turkey, and he was like, oh, that was so wonderful. It was so eventful. It was so great. Yeah, at the time that she did it, you looked at it like, yeah, I'm going to let you be here because my wife wants you to be here, but I really wish you'd go home. Amazing. Amazing. Now, before I go, I want to go back to this idea about Robyn setting herself up while she's in survival mode. Robyn realizes right now a lot of things, which is what I think she's very depressed about. Not only is she not getting what she wants and she's throwing a tantrum, she sees the loss of revenue. She sees the loss of her home. She sees the loss of what she thought would be in terms of having her way, being number one, not having to compete with anyone, land, property, home, money, all the stuff. Currently, she still has the land and she has the property and the home and all of that stuff. But I think that she is very fearful of it all going away because, as I've heard several YouTubers and several vloggers say, sister wives cannot be sister wives if there are no sister wives to have a show. What are we going to call it? Robyn and Cody? I ain't watching that. We can't call it, we used to be sister wives. We can't call it XY. I mean, we can't call it any of that stuff, right? So what happens to the show? Now, I do believe that they have confirmed that they are filming a season 19, but I would gather that whatever they're filming is not going to be that great to watch and probably would be the very last season. So I think that she sees her survival starting to be ripped away from her. Because remember, her mother has trained her on how to make Cody or whoever she's married to her best customer. So if that money goes away, if that land goes away, if the property goes away, she loses her security, she loses her footing, and she's got to find somebody else to fill in that gap, right? Because even someone tonight showed them a picture of what Coyote Pass would look like in the future. And it was these big, beautiful, shiny buildings, and still nothing on Coyote Pass because they haven't done anything with it. Even Cody says, yeah, I don't know that anything's ever going to happen out there because we still haven't done it. And the look on her face and the need to save that by saying, oh, but my dad's bench is out there. He still lives on. My dad, because of a picnic table or a bench. Yeah, it's getting scary in her eyes, and I think she just doesn't know what to do. And I think that if we just keep our good eye on her, I don't know how long Robyn's going to be around. This is not that far past the tell-all or the one-on-one, whatever you want to call it, that people have been spotting them in different places. But unless they have some other income that we don't know about that's making them some huge amount of money, I don't know. I mean, I've heard the rumor of the $1.8 million mansion, but maybe you're trying to get that ready to sell so you can try to make a profit off of that. I don't know real estate like that, and I don't know what these people are doing, but I do feel like she sees some slippage. She sees some rock slippage under her feet. And she feels like she might go over the cliff. All right, everybody, that's all I got. Like I said, it's a Friday night, which was a new night. So we're going to rest tomorrow. And then we are going to see more of Sister Wives on Sunday night. And I think the second half of this is going to be pretty juicy. I know we're going to see a lot of tears. Get prepared, y'all. Get prepared. All right. Remember, if there's something you want to do, go out and do it. Don't let anybody stop you. There's enough room for everybody. Peace, love, and hair grease, y'all. We out.